but the point I was making is, would the president now consider formalizing a group or maybe a presidential committee, a commission, to do this work with persons that we are sure would be doing this with a specific timeline, maybe a 3-month period or 6-month period to submit a report, and the president then acting on the report either for prosecution or for any other intervention that may be appropriate. But the current group that we have, my thinking or my sense is that maybe some of them may even be given ministerial appointments, and that may be quite soon, maybe in the next 1 week or two. Now, when that happens, what happens? They cannot be ministers and still doubling up as members of ORA. Would we then be seeing a dissolution of the committee? And at that point, would we say that the committee has done enough, has gathered enough? I'm sure they've, by now, would have gathered quite a lot of information. Or are we saying now that state institutions would be activated? The Attorney General, I'm told, being vetted today or tomorrow, if he's approved, and then he's sworn in as Attorney General, would he now take over the work of ORA? Or what is it? I think that maybe at this point it would be useful and helpful if the president could provide some clarity about the next steps in terms of this important work that is being done. Because, and I say it's important because, look, Kojo, the looting has been so massive and so, devastating. You go to a place like Tamale, and you would realize that almost every state land has been taken. Almost every state land. And it's not just Tamale. In almost every regional capital, not to talk about even the national capital here in Accra, almost every regional capital, in fact, in some cases, districts, state lands have been taken by persons affiliated with government or persons in government. And that cannot be, and that shouldn't be something that should be allowed to happen. But having said that, Kojo, it is important for us to also remind ourselves that this whole thing about taking over state lands, persons in government, whether those living, those staying, taking government lands in prime areas didn't start now. It may be useful for us to say, can we have, maybe in the last 20 years, the list of all those who acquired state lands, and under what circumstances and under what cost? It's okay to say, well, the past it has happened, but let's prevent it from going forward. But I believe that it is also important that we also get the evidence even from the past. Persons in this government, did they also benefit from state lands? If it is so, what is then the basis of saying that we are pursuing these people when you are sitting on a state land? I think we must make it a national agenda and say, look, people who took state lands, either legally, illegally, or whatever, we need to know. And going forward, we have to prevent it from happening.